Hey guys, how are you? Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Charles. I'm your host, Charles. So what do you say we get cooking? And I am ready for some libation, which is actually a Pinot Grigio tonight. And when this bad boy runs out, we have a Shiraz. I didn't know if I wanted red or white, so I got both. And I gotta tell you, I'm also ready for some food. I had a tough day at work today. This is not my day job, believe it or not. And I don't know about you guys, but when I come home from work and I had a tough day, there's nothing better than pounding your meat. And I got some good pork right here. So what are we gonna do? Well, we're gonna pound it. You know, if you're lucky, you can go out and have somebody else pound your meat and pay them for it, but we're not. So we're gonna do it here. So we're gonna take our pork loin right here, a little cutlet action, and we're going to cut it right down the middle. Just like this. Make sure your knife is really sharp. You want to place your hand flat on it like this, like you see me doing, because that way you're not going to slice your hand. And look at that. I got a little bit of a bad cut right there, but I'm just going to chalk that up to my day at work. So, remember my last show? We did a little bit of meat pounding too, and I forgot my pounder, so to speak, my meat tenderizer. And I had to make do with this big pan. Well, you know what? If you don't have a meat pounder, use a pan like that. Works well. Also, I brought this in. This works well too. Bam, it's done, but I have actually got the proper tool. This bad boy. It's got a business end and a not so business end. This is a little serrated. It's gonna make it like cube steak, if you will. We don't want that. What we're gonna do is take our pork. We're going to put it in one of my more favorite kitchen utensil items, the gallon see-through bag. I know I've used plastic bags from the store in the past, but this is actually really what you want to do so you can see what you're doing. There you go. Just pound it, man. Just pound that meat. Oh, that feels good. Stresses of the day just melting away. That one's for my boss. That one's for my kids. That one's for my wife. Ah, look at that. Beautiful. Okay, we're done pounding. So what are we going to do with this? Well, we're actually going to marinate it to tenderize it even more in buttermilk. Now you want this to tenderize, so to speak, for at least a half an hour. We're not going to have that time here, but I have a few pieces that have been tenderizing in there for about an hour actually. So you want to do at least a half hour, but even overnight's fine. Buttermilk. There you go. We'll let this sit for a little while. Now buttermilk, believe it or not, is great for tenderizing meat. It's got a nice acidic lactic acid. I think the lactic acid's been taken out of it, but it's got enough fat and enough acid, nice ratio, and it adds like a nice tangy flavor, almost like whole milk mixed with sour cream. If you don't have buttermilk at home, you take regular milk, low fat's fine, take 1 cup to 1 teaspoon of vinegar or lemon juice. Let that sit for 10 or 20 minutes. You'll get the same flavor. You can get pretty much the same results. However, for about $2 or $3 a quart, use a cup or 2 at a time. It stays in your refrigerator for, God, sometimes up to 3 weeks. But you get a solid 2-week shelf life out of it. Even past the sell-by date, you're good. So with this buttermilk, I did add a couple of teaspoons of Louisiana hot sauce. You can use Tabasco, Sriracha, whatever you want. But the reason this tenderizes, give you guys a little history lesson, not history, science lesson here, is you take your meat, steak, pork, chicken, whatever it is. You need enzymes, you need proteins. That helps break down those connective fibers that hold everything together. Now, if you use too much acids, i.e. vinegars, lemon juices, that's going to make the meat tough actually. What that will do is add some flavor, which is what a marinade does, but it doesn't always tenderize like you want it to. You want to get a ratio of, say, 1 to 3. 1 teaspoon of your acids to 3 teaspoons of your enzymes, your proteins. So this has a great natural ratio of it. So if you're making something at home, say take your olive oil or your canola oil. Take a cup of that, a teaspoon or two, whatever that ratio is, of balsamic vinegar, lemon juice, fruit juice like papaya, pineapple juice. Those are also very acidic, used in a lot of marinades. That's what you're looking for. Otherwise, what happens is the acids, they take all those proteins, turn them into ribbons. They break apart, but then they come back together, they form like a net, and they tighten up, and they force all the water molecules out of your meat. It actually makes it tougher. And if you put way, way too much in, it turns it to mush on the inside and a hard, crusty shell on the outside. So that is your little science lesson today, and your cooking tip from Cooking with Charles. Yeah, we can't end the show there, though. So while that's marinating a little bit, what are we going to do? Well, make a little bit of bread here. I don't do a lot of starches because they're relatively easy, but we are going to do some garlic bread, or not garlic bread, some cheesy bread. I got a few tablespoons of butter, but I'm going to put on these nice looking French breads. Now, I always say when you go to your supermarket, look for the day-old stuff, because this was 99 cents for something that, well, I bought it Sunday. We tape on Tuesdays. It was 99 cents on Sunday. It's been fine, not even dry, whatever, but it was a $2.99 loaf of French Parisian bread for 99 cents. So you figure out how much you're saving with that. And it's fine. So by all means, always look at your day-old bread section. Pretty much for everything in the bakery section. Day-old is great for saving money, and it's, you know, pretty just as good. Although there's nothing like a hot croissant fresh from the oven. All right, we got our butter smeared on here. You know what? I want a little bit more butter. There we go. Now to this, put that over there. I've got some shredded Romano Parmesan cheese and blue cheese. If you're a fan of the show, which I know you are, then you know that I'm a fan of blue cheese. This is a Danish blue. I've also mixed in a little bit of tarragon because, well, I just like tarragon. And that's it. We're just going to spread this out. Spread that out. You know what? I brought all this cheese. I'm going to use all this cheese. It's kind of like, can cheesy bread be too cheesy? I don't think so. Because the bread is just a vehicle for the cheese. Hopefully, your vehicle is a nice tasting bread. Okay, gonna press that down in, because we don't want it to lift off. There we go. Put that down there. All right. Now, I don't know how long this will take, because I have not used this toaster oven from our viewer John in a little while. And well, it's time we started using it a little more, because it's getting time to start, well, using it more. So I'm gonna put that in there. Oh, it's hot. This thing's been on for a while. Woo! And we're just going to put that on pretty much 400 degrees. We'll see what it does. We'll just keep an eye on that. Let me tilt that. All right. Let's get to the business part of the show in terms of the meal. Gonna get our zucchini going. Oh, by the way, I'd like to say hello to Marco. He is a new fan of the YouTube channel version of the show, which is the version you're seeing here in Goffstown. Marco lives in Ireland. He emailed me last week, says he likes the show. And, well, he had a comment about the set behind me. And I had to tell him, yes, it is fake. We do not have a real set. Well, no bother. He has not come to the plate and said he's going to buy me a new set and build one, real one back here, but he said the show was entertaining, so thanks, man. I always appreciate it. Good, bad, indifferent. I love to hear it. All right, gonna let our oil heat up. Okay, what is next? Well, if you ever run out of things to do in the kitchen, just drink. And folks, as always, you can get all these ingredients locally. Locally here in Goffstown, we have Sully Superette, great supermarket, not that much more expensive, even cheaper on a lot of items in the big box stores that are close by. Check them out, keep it local. Let's see, this is going well. Okay. Not quite hot enough. Ooh. You know what? I gotta ask about getting a new stovetop. This thing's a little lopsided. Check this out. Just bought this a few weeks ago. It's something to use in baking for cutting dough, lifting it up, but guess what? I'm not a baker. What it's great for is when you have a bunch of stuff like this zucchini right here, boom, scrape it onto that. You get everything in one fatal swoop. And check that out, goes right there. All right, we're gonna give that a little bit of sea salt. And for a little bit of extra flavor, dried cranberries, folks. I gotta tell you, last couple of years has seen an explosion of dried fruits you can get in your supermarket. Now, for 6 ounces, this can run you anywhere between $2 and $4, but believe me, you want to buy this. Plums, prunes, strawberries, blueberries, cranberries, because just a little bit right here adds a boatload of flavor and a lot of good looking color. Okay. Let's see how we're doing over here. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Okay, so we've got this stuff marinating. Smells good. That buttermilk gives it a nice, tangy flavor, as I said before. And what are we going to do with it? Well, we are going to take it. Oh, we're popping like crazy over here. That's a beautiful sound. We're going to dredge this in panko breadcrumbs. And why panko? Well, panko are a cook's best friend for breadcrumbs. They are, if we can get a close-up shot on this, I don't quite know if that comes through on the TV. I'll let you know after I watch it. But these are big. So what does that mean? Well, it's going to coat your food, and it's going to give you a crunch, because it's a bigger breadcrumb, so you get a bigger crunch. Also, it does not absorb the oil as much. Think about surface area. You got 10 grains of sand. Oh, look at that bad boy plopping in there. You got 10 grains of sand. That's a lot of surface area. But you take those grains of sand, you put them together, you get less surface area. Or you take a piece of wood. A log is a log, but you cut it up into kindling, you've got more surface area. And when you get more surface area to absorb the grease. All right, looks like that is ready. What we're going to do, hey, you know what I'm going to do? This is messy. I forgot I had these. Rubber gloves. I don't know why they're here in the studio, but they are, and awesome, because I'm going to use them. But my hands are a little wet, so they're a little tough to get on. All right, so we're just going to take this, going to toss it in the crumb. Put that aside. Keep an eye on the prize over there. Oh, these look good. I just want to coat all sides. Press it in. Ooh, might have used a little too much Tabasco sauce. Yeah, I'll pull those off for a second. I can really smell it, but you know what? Then again, is there such thing as too much Tabasco? I think not, or Louisiana hot sauce, all the same. Also, you might want to try that sriracha, whatever you want to call it. It's the red rooster sauce. That stuff is transcendent. Wow, that stuff is good. Ooh, look at this. This stuff looks good, huh? All right. All right, tell you what, folks. We're going to take a quick break right now. Now it's time for the real business of the show. Going to hear a few words from some of our benefactors and people you should help out, mainly your local food pantry, because, well, they help people eat great food. So come back in 2 seconds, and actually 2 minutes, and hey, we'll be cooking. So come right back. We could not do this show without the help of our friends at Sully's Superette. Since 1987, Sully's has provided the area with the best meats around. Here at Cooking with Charles, we not only count on them for their kind donations of meat, but John and the gang at Sully's also provide us with the best produce, deli items, and libations that make Cooking with Charles the huge success it is. From all of us at Cooking with Charles, thank you. I've teamed up with the Goffstown Network to tell you about their outreach and food pantry programs. The mission of the Goffstown Network is to provide for the hunger-related needs of our neighbors in Goffstown and their surrounding communities. Founded with the governing principles that no person should go hungry and every person deserves our care, the Goffstown Network serves the area by providing food and other services on an emergency short-term basis. This spirit of community and mutual caring is extended to anyone in Goffstown, Dunbarton, and New Boston. Normal hours of operation are Wednesday evenings, 6 to 8 p.m., and Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. to noon. Now, you can also assist them through donations of time, food, or money. Like the help they give, the help they receive is also greatly appreciated. You can reach them by calling the number on your screen or by stopping by the Parish House of St. Matthew's Church. It's located in downtown Goffstown at 7 North Mass Street, right across from Sully's. Oh, guys, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We are cooking. We did a lot of stuff while you're gone. Our break was a little longer than 2 minutes, so. All right, what we got going on here? We got the last of the pork working. What I do recommend is when you take this off, like bacon, just put it on a plate lined with paper towel. All right, in our little pan we're going to reuse, I have French's honey mustard dipping sauce. I have a little bit of Grey Poupon Dijon mustard because this limo guy drove up and said, "Pardon me, do you want any Grey Poupon?" And I said, "Hell yeah, brother." It's also because I like it. Now, you can use honey and mustard yourself, make your own honey mustard. I usually do that. But you know what? I had a coupon for $1 off. This was $1.50 on sale, and it cost me 50 cents. So that's why I have that. So what do I have? I have that stuff mixed together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of probably just a few tablespoons. Oh, hell, I'm just going to add it all, whatever's there. I use about 1.5 cups. There we go. Of that buttermilk concoction that I had the pork sitting in. I'm going to mix the stuff together. I'm going to bring it up to temperature. If you're a germaphobe, bring it up to temperature. If you're not a germaphobe, taste it. Oh, that's got a little bit of kick to it from everything else. It's got a lot of nice kick to it. But you know what I'm going to add to it? I'm going to add a little bit of ginger. Right here I got some crushed ginger. Going to add about a teaspoon of that. And it's going to give it a little something something. So all we're going to do is let this sit right here. Oh, that back burner's on. And we're done with that. So where do we go from here for our culinary journey? Well, we're going to let that sit. We're going to put these things over here. And we got some nice bread. I want to call it garlic bread, but that's just by default. There's actually no garlic in this. It's just butter, some blue cheese, some Parmesan cheese. Oh, a little bit of tarragon. And a whole lot of love. This is really good, guys. I've said this before, guys. Cooking is love. Doesn't matter if you love to cook, you gotta love the person you're serving it to, because they're gonna love you back 10 times over. Especially with bread like that. Oh, you get loved a long time. Oh, that's looking good. Let's check out the flavor profile of this, which is a fancy way of saying, how the hell does it taste? Smell that ginger? Oh, that's good. What I'm trying to get the sauce, guys, is a perfect combination of the sharpness of the Dijon mustard, the sweetness of some honey, a little tangy, a little zangy, a little zinny, and then the subtle sweetness of the ginger. That is right where I want it. So let's start plating this up. While I'm doing that, folks, remember, you can always see us. Ooh, this is hot. Ooh, ooh, that's really hot. Yes, and I'm standing here burning myself as I get my towel instead of throwing it away as hot and burny. Anyway, as I was saying before I got third-degree skin sloughing burns on my hand, remember, you can always catch me on YouTube. If you don't catch my show every night of the week, I'm on every day on GTV. Monday night, 7 p.m., the new episode airs. Re-airs Friday or Tuesday at 5. And then, I don't know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's on sometime during the day. 2 o'clock on Saturdays, 6 o'clock on Sundays. So you have no reason not to watch me. But if you can't, I am on YouTube under Cooking with Charles M. Charles M, one word. There's another guy that has a Cooking with Charles show, or Charles M show. This is gonna be good, guys. See, I don't need a lot of sauce on this either, by the way, guys, because you've got that buttermilk marinade tenderizing agent that we used. That's going to impart a lot of flavor. All right, I've got my utensils. Let's check that out right there. Oh, look at that. Look at that, huh? That is beautiful. Oh, one more shot before we devour this bad boy. Oh, let me get a little more sauce on that bite so I can give you my true, thorough opinion. Folks, if there was a vitamin G, this would be loaded with it because it's great. This is awesome. Once again, I'm a great chef, guys. Wow. You gotta try this at home. Very easy. That buttermilk. Wow. Here's to me, and here's to you guys for sitting through another episode of Cooking with Charles. Remember, when you're cooking with Charles, you're cooking with the good looking. We'll see you next week. Oh, I'm going back in for more. Bread too. This bread is wonderful. Oh, don't worry, Belly. I'll swallow soon.